There's a new player in town, and that is Staedtler. Staedtler's known for making pencils and pens, and they are made in Germany. And they've gone a step further by announcing their EMR, Electromagnetic Resonance Device Equipped Stylus. If you're unsure what that means, it basically means WACOM Stylus, and it works with things like e-readers, e-notes, smartphones, and some HP tablets. I am, of course, Peter, and this is Good E-Reader, and we're going to look at the entire lineup, which is basically consists of these two. They're both by Noris Digital, they're both by Staedtler, but they're a little bit different. This is a hexagonal-shaped pencil-like device, and it does not have an eraser at the back. And this one is a eraser-enabled triangular pen, and I don't know if this is to scale, but it looks like this is more stumpy than this one, and this is more elongated. But let's cut the chatter and open these up for the first time. We will do a live opening with you guys on camera here to show you that this is going to be everything that comes in the box. So when you open it up, it looks like nothing else is in the box, and you do get some replacement nibs. You get 5 of them, which is really nice, with a nib puller tool. And you get a very nice inlay box that holds the pen. And it looks like it just comes out. Now it is a pencil, basically. And it's basically made out of wood. You can see right there, it is shaven down like an actual pencil, because it is a pencil, but instead of a graphite lead in the middle, it has an EMR cartridge, which is the WACOM cartridge, and the pen right there. And again, this one doesn't have the eraser. Cracking open the Jumbo. This is the Jumbotron here. We are going to open, and it looks like this one's actually laid out backwards. And yes, it is in fact stumpier, and you get those same replacement nibs, and you can see they look identical, and we will let you guys know later on if the actual diameter and the inserts are different in these two. But for now, it looks like the pens are drastically different. In fact, you actually leave out about 1.5 inches here of pen length, and you do get that eraser here. And it is interesting because the eraser portion of a WACOM device is a little bit long, so it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't keep the same length, but I guess that's to give you guys a difference in abilities to, if you want something a little bit shorter and weightier and a triangular design versus a conventional pick up and go kind of HB2 pencil kind of design. So for this test, we're going to use a Onyx Books Note Air. And why we're going to do this is because it's completely neutral to the situation, and in fact we're not even going to use the Air pen just to show you compatibility. So we're going to use the Remarkable pen and show you Remarkable pen does work, and then moving over to my custom named Lamy pen, which is an EMR. Lamy pen works just fine, and the eraser works as well, so you can press that and the eraser works with mobile eraser, stroke eraser, area erase, etc. So with that out of the way, we've confirmed that this works with EMR-enabled devices, WACOM pens, etc. So let's move over to the Staedtler pen. So it is made in Germany, as we showed you early on, if you're just joining us, and no, the red backing is not an eraser, but it is an eraser on the Jumbo, but the Jumbo costs a little bit more. Let's just do some writing on the Classic. Oh, it's very nice. It's very nice. It's not a very graphite-y feel, and you can see pressure sensitivity is totally fine. A graphite-y feel would be something more like, well, actually like this. This is the Sony pen. It doesn't work on this because it only works on Sony-enabled devices, but the graphite nib, it's almost like using real pencil lead, and it's very, very soft, and it wears down very quickly. Now, this is not a coarse nib. It's very malleable. It's very kind of rubbery, and you get a decent amount of grip, but it's almost like you're writing on a Supernote screen. There's a fair amount of resistance on it, and it is very accurate. Yeah, it's not bad. This one's a decent amount of grip on the nib, and you know what? It is a little soft. I can actually bend it with my finger. It's not a hard nib like the Sony, like the Remarkable, like the Onyx Books line of devices. This one's a much softer nib, and it offers a little bit of resistance, so it's not like you're writing on a piece of white paper on a marble surface kind of feel. Moving over to the Jumbo, it is heavier in the hand. It's more stumpy. You can see the differences as we showed you early on. There's a fair amount of length missing, but the nib is pretty much exactly the same. So again, there's that level of resistance in the nib. It's a kind of a It's not really a hard feel, it's more of a spongy feel. But that's not a bad thing, and it's good to have different feels with different nibs across different lines of devices. Now, most important thing is this eraser. How does this perform? It does alright, although it is very sticky, because it is simulating a real eraser. In fact, you can bend it with your finger. It's almost as if you may be able to erase real paper and real pencil with that, but we're not going to do that at risk of defaming the actual material here. Now, the problem with the level of stickiness is probably the accuracy in which you can do mobile eraser. It does the job, but you actually have to press pretty hard to get it done. If you press lightly, you can see it just kind of wiggles and grinds and bounces off the screen. So it's not a hard tip eraser like you'd find on the back of the Marker Plus, like you'd find on the stock stylus from Boyu and Onyx. So it is actually, it almost is like a real eraser. Hats off to Staedtler for actually making these as real as possible. The thing is made out of wood. It simulates the exact diameter and look and feel like real pencils that they sell in the real world. And the eraser is almost like an actual eraser itself. So they did do a good job in terms of the overall look, and the writing feel is great. The only shortcoming I would say is the eraser right out of the gates, because it's just a little too sticky, but it does work, and it works across multiple platforms. Anywhere you'll find EMR styluses working, HP devices, Samsung Galaxy Notes, etc., and of course e-ink devices, these pens will work. For a full list of compatibility and where to buy these, you can go over to the Goody Reader store. And for a full unboxing and review of the Staedtler lineup of EMR pens, this is Peter.